Thanks, Jim. Well done. Good effort. Considering the water challenges, well done. We're here today, and thank you very much for joining us. My name is David. I'm very, very fortunate to be joined by Celia Garden from Canva. She is the global product lead for mobile across Canva. Canva is a global success story, an Australian startup, massive success globally. They've got over 180 million users across 190 countries. What you may also not know though is that they're actually used by 85% of the Fortune 500 companies. So it's a massive global success story and only growing from Australia. Thank you for joining us, it's great to have you here. Before we get started, could you share a bit more about Canva's story and your missions and goals?
First of all, thank you for having me. So Canva is in its 11th year. It was founded out of Perth, and the antithesis of its evolution is that our founder, Mel, was working in graphic design, and the tools that she was using was preclusive to other people. So she set about creating a tool that democratized design for everybody in the world by making it simple and really easy to get started, but also using a drag and drop interface to help people build social content or photo collages or presentations and videos, or even business cards and have them delivered to their front door.
So I mean, I use Canva myself a lot at home, and have multiple use cases, multiple uses, invitations, presentations, you name it. Can you tell me more about your role and how that translates for all the users like myself in mobile?
Yeah, sure thing. So of the 180 million monthly active users, 46% of those are accessing Canva from only a mobile phone. So the delicate interplay between making a product that suits those smaller resolutions but is powerful and featureful for those only accessing Canva from a mobile phone is part of my role. I work with designers, engineers, delivering on strategy and vision to make sure those users' wants and needs are delightfully resolved in the product, but also playing in the space of creativity with respect to technology evolution, like propositions we saw today, and thinking about how we can harness the power of hardware devices into our experiences so that Canva gets the same reaction that video did with the oohs and the ahs.
That's really cool. One of the things that I really love is Canva's mission about empowering the world to design. What does building for everyone mean to Canva and you? And why is inclusivity so important, and how does it show up in that mobile experience?
Yeah, so our founder Mel has a company goal map where everything we do has to be tied to, and it's empower everyone design across every country, every language, with every ingredient, and on every device, and that's the part that we play. Android devices specifically are so broadly globally adopted, and the difference of devices from exactly as you said, that $179 price point to up to $3,000 means that there's a huge span of accessibility to those devices. So we have saturations of Android devices in maybe more emergent markets or heavily adopted in the United States. So we have a broad breadth of distribution, but also a really broad range of requirements that we have to cover for our experiences. So we work closely with our teams internally to test the solutions, make sure that before we release them, they're suitable on a range of devices.
And range of devices is an interesting one when you consider Android, given the breadth of the portfolio. From Canva's perspective, what makes Android stand out as a platform? And are there any unique features or capabilities that you find particularly appealing?
So the nature of that distribution and device divergence means that we get a lot out of the technical innovation that comes through Android. They have to inherently account for those entry point phones, but also are bringing some really creative inspiration to Canva specifically with their technology progression. We see a lot of people coming to Canva with Android devices, and it's exciting times with respect to the evolution of AI.
Yeah, evolution of AI, and then you touched on that a little bit. It's always a funny one. Again, Android innovation is one of those things that I'm very proud of as we work with our partners. Increasingly, we're seeing devices like foldables, flips. We've got Motorola, we've got Samsung, those types of devices, and now we've got Pixel with the Fold. How is Canva thinking about those surfaces and how that plays out in the mobile experience?
interesting to me because when we design interfaces for digital products, you sometimes see trends like the use of gradients or drop shadows. So it's interesting now that we are seeing maybe like a resurgence of different trends with respect to form factors. User feedback that I've seen around foldable devices is that people chose those forms because it was trendy and on trend, and they wanted to be affiliated with that movement. So that's really interesting to me that we're now seeing the trends with respect to forms of devices. But similarly, it's the same thing. We want to be heavily user empathetic around the ways people are consuming our product, what they're doing in their workday, the jobs that they see to be completed on a mobile device versus a desktop device where they are coming from multiple devices. It's a lot of user research, listening to user feedback, being creative with the evolution of technology and seeing how that interplays, but also working with partners early to make sure that as they're progressing technology, we're partnering before it's released, just to make sure our product is cognizant of that trend in form factor.
Yeah, it's really good. The thing that I love is we've got all of the frontline team here today, and again, access to Telstra's massive and amazing customer base. If you could give any sort of guidance to the team here today around the sort of use cases that those customers can be empowered by using Canva, really a good one to sort of understand for the team to be able to take out to the Telstra customers.
Yeah, I do think that times are tough, right? And people are finding innovative and creative ways to supplement their income, building side hustles and wanting to do that in a cost-efficient way with like the resources they have on hand. Canva is a tool that can help people start their business, make design and creation of things to proliferate across the internet to support that business really effortless. The reason it was created by Mel was that there are burdens in using other technologies to create like social posts or presentations or pitch decks. And a common misperception about Canva from its early days that it is just for social media, but it's much more than that now. In addition to making design accessible, we also have like a responsibility to make technology accessible. So some of our product evolutions really lean into making the concept of AI accessible to people and providing wins for people to grow their exposure and confidence with those terms. So Canva can help businesses of 1 to 5,000 really communicate visually, really easily.
I love that, and again, it comes back to that point at the beginning around 85% of Fortune 500 companies using Canva. The other thing that I really want to touch on is around where, in terms of Android, you talked about the democracy of having all those customers having access to it. Be keen to hear, is there an example of a project where Android strengths were crucial to Canva's success in terms of that?
Yeah, I think really the whole vision and mission of the company to empower the world to design really is just kind of like the starting point, but what we're effectively doing is kind of democratizing education and technology growth. So by the nature of the distribution of Android devices and the fact that they have that broad distribution of devices that are affordable means that we can really reach everybody in the world. And even the example in that video, we're effectively democratizing education, which is wildly powerful and transformative.
So it's Telstra Frontline, everyone's seen an AI message from somebody. With that in mind, how is Canva thinking about AI and how that's going to go into your products?
Founders are pretty bullish on us considering AI to the point where if we're not thinking about it, it's probably not seen particularly favourably because it's the future of technology. But as I made a mention of before, we're kind of expecting more with less from everybody, more content, more less time, higher quality stuff globally. So the way that I'm thinking about it is how I can leverage technology to do things that I don't necessarily need to be present for, and how our users can use that concept to do more with less. So create higher quality content, leverage AI to be a thought leader in the space, a marketing strategist, a graphic designer, and raise the quality bar of their resources and designs, but also do more with less. Nobody wants to be having to do more with less.
Yeah,
more time to do other stuff.
And again, with both side by side, I think that's where the real power comes in. Again, you can generate an image, you can generate an image in Canva and create amazing things.
Only limited by your imagination rather than skill.
Exactly. Thank you so much for coming today and being part of this. It's been great having you today. Thank you very much. Obviously, if you haven't already, please go to canva.com, check it out. And if you can, if you're on your Android phone, go down to the Play Store and download the app. Now I'm going to hand over to Tina, who is going to quiz you. And hopefully, one or two of